See, that used to be the best kind of music we could do
What was?
for the show by humming.
Oh yeah, no, it wasn't that great.
I think
Still not.
it wasn't terrible.
It's acceptable.
I'm not a horrible hummer.
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever want to talk about my hummer skills. Oh wait.
No.
So it's Thirsty Thursday. I'm Mike.
I'm Brendan.
He was delayed. He was on a little bit of a delay.
Yeah. Was.
So
I was looking at the link you just sent. I'm like, someone tagged me. Oh, it's Mike. I wonder what about. I can click the link. Look how amazing that is.
right.
Oh shoot! Oh my gosh! It's got my phone on. I'm sorry.
Were you seeing us
I'm
now
an amateur.
live?
I'm an amateur.
It's his
I'm an
first day,
amateur.
y'all. This is his first day. So it's Thirsty Thursday. We're gonna drink. We're gonna talk about some shit. But first, I got a surprise.
What do you got?
I got intro music. It's music.
That was our old song. I mean, that's our song.
Old,
Jeez,
new.
Lord,
We have a song.
we have a song.
Aw.
We're getting
we
to
have
be
a
so
song.
professional. Every week, something
that.
new.
Every week, something new.
Something
We've
new.
got the new setup. I like the new format. I've seen a lot of podcasts where like the image is smaller. They do the full widescreen windows either side by side or on top of each other or arranged. That's well and good, but I feel like this gives us a lot more real estate.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
bigger,
I like it.
bigger heads. I watch this. I'm vain. I watch the podcast sometimes myself. But yes, I'm to that side of you. And sometimes
No, I know.
watch it on
I finally
on
know.
my television. And it's really weird seeing this blown up on a big, gigantic screen.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
It's a little concerning.
Yeah, no, it is.
So the first part, the first word of our show, of course, is thirsty.
Thirsty.
So what are you drinking, bud?
We're gonna start with some bourbon like we did last week. I've got my Death Star again.
Okay.
In an Augusta National Golf Club glass where they do the Masters.
I
This was
love
from my grandfather's collection. A great
I think
glass.
that glass has been on the show before.
It may have, has it?
Yeah, I think so.
So we're gonna start with some Four Roses. No, you know what? No, we will. We'll get to the shots in a second. This will be sippable.
All right. Well, let me pour a little bit with you as well. Rearranging the entire setup here, so a lot of stuff coming in and out. But pour a little bit out of the dad decanter here.
Oh God, I forgot.
What? The suspense is killing me.
This fucker's still in my house.
Oh my god, that thing is terrifying.
Nah.
I mean, that could be the future coach of the Rams or the Falcons or the Patriots. So, Harbaugh could end up somewhere. He could be coaching in one of these NFL teams next year.
He's been in my whiskey globe. I forgot to return him, and I'm kind of bothered by that now all of a sudden. Cheers. What are you drinking?
Cheers. Just the whiskey out of the dad decanter, which is Evan Williams White Label.
Nice.
Cheers.
We got that out of the way. We'll do a shot here in a second, I guess.
All
and
right.
I've got myself some things lined up. Look at me. I'm so...
Hold on. What are you doing?
What?
What are you making fruit sushi? What is that?
Yeah. Well, all my plates are sushi plates, really, for the most part.
What does that mean?
Most of my plates are sushi plates. Like little square plates that each have a matching soy dish that come with them.
You don't have a round plate?
The soy dishes are used by my cat. My cat actually eats out of fancy little soy dishes for his wet food, or sushi plates. He has his own set. I have some round plates. I have a set that were my grandmother's that I just remember from childhood. So like I kept those as well. I'll use those for multiple pork chops and things. But I also have one big sushi platter for two that I make for big meals for myself if I'm...
How much of your dishes match? If you had to put a percentage, what
do you mean?
percentage of your dishes, what percentage of your dishes match are from the same set or like the same
I have multiple sets.
See, that's the thing. That's the way the world works. We have about 4 different.
I have the white sushi set. I have the sushi bowl set with their own lids for my ramen.
Okay.
I have this black set of. I have 4 of these that come with its own.
We're gonna get back to the fruit here in a sec.
Yeah. One's for my beer and one's for my shot.
One's for your beer, but there's 2 of each.
I'm planning multiple beers and multiple shots.
That a boy.
I mean, I had to have it just in case, and then we've got my worm salt for my tequila, for my orange.
Back up. What?
Sal de Gasano. I have agave worm salt. It is a
worm salt.
Yes.
Made out of worm.
It's from Oaxaca. It's a traditional Oaxacan spice. It's made from sea salt, dried chiles, and toasted and ground agave worms.
Why am I not familiar with this product before now?
It's great. You put it on.
New? Is this like the sriracha of ground up bugs? Is this like
no?
Was around for 10 years and now all of a sudden like worm salt's everywhere?
Did you ever go to La Ofrenda?
No.
It was a tequila mezcal bar, and they used to do crickets with their oranges. You would sip your mezcal, eat some crickets, bite an orange. But I guess this is kind of the equivalent, except you're just using it. It's a great seasoning, great spice. Put it on a michelada around the edge of, it's used for a lot of like micheladas, signature dishes, mezcal, things like that.
Do you think you'd be able to
ordered my some this week.
Without the worm? If everything else was in there but the worm, would you be able to tell the
I have no idea. I mean, the crickets didn't have much flavor. They were dried, and the worms are dried. I mean, I'm sure there'd be a difference because now you're talking about just sea salt and chilies. So, yeah, let's see if we can find me some sea salt and some non-worm worm salt, and we'll do a side-by-side. But, yeah, this will go with my tequila shortly.
Well, there you go. Yes,
worm salt, ladies and gentlemen. You can get it on Amazon. You can get anything from Amazon.
So, I'm also having a beer. And
yes.
I went a beer shopping a couple weeks ago. I sent you a picture. I went and did one of my big jungle gyms, bought a bunch of beers, bought like a bunch of 6-packs and 4-packs.
Yes.
That's where I get to stock up on stuff I haven't tried before. This is from Streetside Brewery here in Cincinnati, Ohio. This is a collaboration with Delwood Eat and Drink. Not familiar with Delwood Eat and Drink. But crafted and canned in Cincinnati, Ohio by Streetside Brewery. It is the Hazy Day in the Hood IPA. It's got I love a good can, a good label art. This one seems to have a nice Sesame Street theme. But
oh my God, are they?
Bob.
They're ripped.
Oh yeah, I think it kind of almost looks kind of like Jay and Silent Bob. If you notice, the Oscar the Grouch-ish character is a hop. So
I like that.
This
creative
is Hazy in the Hood or Hazy Day in the Hood New England IPA.
I have a beer, but I left it in my kitchen.
You got a sec while I pour this.
I mean, it's in my lunchbox. I see the lunchbox. It's got 2 beers in it and a extra Mountain Dew in case we need some chasers. Since I didn't pick up your chasers from you.
Yeah, we still have to trade off on that.
Yeah, we'll find a time. We'll get some good food over at Alexandria. You describe how that beer tastes, and I'll be back in 20 seconds.
Absolutely. So, I'm a big fan of hazies. And I'll say that by saying I fell out of love with hazies for a little bit. There was a good 6 months to a year period where I was like, I don't like drinking hazy IPAs that much anymore. But I think I got burned out. Not necessarily that I stopped liking them.
I'm back. Sorry, but I'm kicking the table.
No, you're good. Finding a lot of new hazy IPAs has been a lot of fun. And this one is very crisp. I like how the color on it. It's got that kind of tangerine-y, kind of pineapple juice color.
Oh my gosh, I forgot a bottle opener. Going again. I'll be back.
Are you going under the desk? He's going under the desk. You went under.
I got it.
He's got it.
It's a luchador.
He's got his luchador as well.
Here we go. Yeah. There he is.
Was that the easiest way to accomplish that goal?
I can't hear you.
Hey, Oh God.
No, we're fine. Everything's good.
You're like
There we go.
He's like the Oscar the Grouch of the show.
One sec.
You're like the Oscar the Grouch of the show.
What?
You're the Oscar the Grouch of this show. You just like went down and disappeared, and then you rattled around for a little bit and popped up.
I went under the table. Over here, I've got some wires run in my bag, and
I was
over
gonna
here
say, is that the easiest way to accomplish that goal?
No, but it was the most entertaining.
That's fair. They agree.
And I didn't want to jiggle the table as much as I did the first time. But I'll tell you what, falling down was a lot easier than getting back. That's the story of my life.
That's a metaphor.
So we're going to have a little Dos Equis. I'm being simple tonight, but I love a Dos Equis as well. Last week was Modelo. This week's Dos Equis. At some point, I'm going to have my favorite cerveza, which would be Victoria.
Okay. I've got a non-alcoholic drink here in a moment that will do. But yeah.
Yeah, you said you were hungover a little bit, bud. What happened?
So, I went to Alexandria Brewing Company last. We talk about them all the fucking time. It's fucking.
You're wearing the shirt.
I'm wearing the fucking
subtle
hoodie
at this point.
Yeah. So we went to Alexandria Brewing Company last night. It was their Wings Whiskey Wednesday. So they do $5 for an order of 6 wings, or they do $5 whiskey pours. They pick 4 to 5 bottles,
or $10 for both.
Yeah, sometimes they'll go ham and pick like 6 or 7 bottles, but normally there's about 4 bottles of whiskey that they are doing. Like if I go to their,
maybe I'll join you there next week. We'll get a picture for the pod, and I'll pick up those horrible drinks you want me to drink.
There you go. So
we'll make a plan for next
I go
Wednesday.
to their Instagram account right now, Alexandria Brewing Company on Instagram. So like last night they had Whistle Pig Piggyback, the bourbon whiskey from Whistle Pig, Michter's Bourbon, their New Riff collaboration bourbon, which they did a collaboration barrel with New Riff, Redwood Empire Pipe Dream Bourbon Whiskey.
I'm already pouring at Michter's. You had me there.
And Old Elk Straight Rye Whiskey. So they had 5 bottles last night. But they'll do nights where they put Weller Special Reserve up there. They'll put like what they have left of some Whistle Pig. They'll do really cool stuff.
Very cool.
What's really always fun is, and I've been lucky enough to have this happen a couple times. You get there, and you get the last pour, because once the bottle's done, that's the end of that bottle for the night.
Yep.
So I've been there a couple times and like, oh, you got one left of that one specific cool bottle that I saw on your Instagram post today. So let me go ahead and get that. So I guess that also means the marketing works.
The reason you get the last pour is because you probably got the second to last, the third to last, the fourth to last. You're probably just there for the end of the bottle, and that's probably what happens. So yeah.
Yeah. And you're right. You're right. Sometimes it is a little plate of like, okay, let me drink the last 2 and make sure I get the last out of that bottle. But it's always a fun experience.
Exactly.
Fuck, that's a good beer. But I drank a lot of whiskey last night, and I did a few beers. I realized at my age, I'm fucking 40 now. So, like, thinking about, and it sounds so fucking cheesy, I can't drink the way I used to. And that doesn't mean that I can't necessarily drink as much liquor or beer as I used to, but I have to do it right.
Nobody should drink the way that we used to.
I didn't even eat enough food yesterday.
No, that'll do it.
And I feel like when I bounce back and forth between like different styles, that seems to not hit as hard where if I drink the same thing multiple times. I had about the same beer 3 times. Like 3 of the 4 drafts I had there was the same beer. So like, I think that might have done it. Kind of that idea of, you're crushing the same beer, and it kind of might have just feel like it might hit me harder rather than, oh, let me drink this one for a while and nurse this one. Okay, let me jump over and drink this one and nurse it for a little bit. I think that might have had something to do with it, but mainly also I realized this morning I was like, I didn't fucking eat food. A lot of food.
Yeah, that always helps.
But, I didn't have anything else. Came home also, had another 2 beers, another shot.
It's all we can do. It's the best way to warm your body right now with the way the weather is. Oh my God.
Fucking frigid cold.
Wherever you are, you're probably cold right now. If you were in the United States, you are probably cold right now.
The football games got delayed because of the
Bills
cold
game
fucking weather
especially,
and the
yeah.
snow.
They had their own fans shoveling snow from the bleachers and
Yeah, the
stuff like
Buffalo
that.
Bills were offering was it like $20,
Yeah.
and like I don't know. I saw one that said they were giving out tickets, but I saw one that said they were not giving out tickets for shoveling the snow.
I saw where some people were just sitting still in sections covered in snow and lounging in like snow chairs they had made.
saw.
And beers they had popped froze instantly.
Am I correct that I heard that they just made it? There was no assigned seats. They were just.
I heard
it
there
was,
wasn't assigned
They just
seating.
get
Yeah,
get to
if I'm
get
not
to wherever
mistaken.
you can
Right.
get to and clear out.
Right. That's what that's my understanding of what
I'd be
happened.
going right for the front, right down to the sideline. I would just sit on a mound of snow at that point.
Yeah.
If you're gonna pay that much money and go in there, I would just go as close as they would legally let me get.
Can I get in front of those heaters you have on the sideline?
Right.
Yes.
So when it comes to cold, and you're in the cold a lot more than I am. I work from home. I sit in this room with a different lighting setup and different clothes and do my job.
Yeah.
You don't.
No, I don't. I work around airplanes on a airline ramp, which is just the biggest flat concrete parking lot you've ever seen. It's a parking lot for about 30 planes, and the day starts at about 5:45 a.m. So the other day we were at real field temperatures of about -14, I think it was, and it got up to 9, and we were kind of happy for a little bit, but for the most part, we wear a lot of good PPE and stay warm. Although I experienced something for the first time I never have.
I'm a big child because for a second I thought you said PP. And I was
PP.
Like, I
Yeah.
googled.
Yeah. So I'm wearing a balaclava like mask, and I have my eyes just like this, and the wind's blowing, and my eyes are starting to water, and I suddenly felt like my eye pinching together over here. The eyelashes started to freeze together in the corners of my eyes a few times while I was outside in it. Luckily, we get a lot of downtime back in the van or back up at the building and stuff like that. But that was the first time I'd ever experienced my eyelashes freezing together while I was outside. But watching a sunrise at 3 degrees in the morning on an airline ramp, there's something kind of cool about it, actually.
I can imagine you get
Yeah.
some really cool sunrises.
Yeah, there's
That
some
much
really cool
space
stuff.
and that much sky. I live out
Yeah.
in kind of a woodsier area than I used to live, and that's one of the things I've learned to appreciate is like early morning sky. When you
Yeah.
can get a big long shot of the sky, it can be gorgeous.
Or
Especially
even
this
the
time of year.
evening for you. So many
Yeah.
more stars. So many more
Yeah.
stars compared to when you live down by the city, for sure.
Absolutely. And
If I got to drive 45 minutes to see you, your ass better see some stars.
you can
Jesus.
see a star. There's a lake. This time of year I can see the lake on the farm behind us too.
Oh, nice.
It's interesting how different it looks out here in winter.
I
compared to
kayak
summer.
down by you every now and then. 2 different places down that way.
AJ Jolly Park.
That's one of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other one is past you, probably.
I'm going on year
Butler, Kentucky.
3.
That's past you. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
going on year 3 here. And my wife and I keep saying we're going to go to AJ Jolly. We're going to get a membership. We're going to go there and do things because we're literally across the street.
Let's meet up one day and just grab one of the grills there and cook out some food at a picnic table
See,
and
now you're
sit
speaking my
outside.
language.
Yeah. That's what I've done with friends before. Is like all around the lake, there's grills set up and stuff. I mean, I could bring my kayak and paddle for a bit. You guys could sit there and grill. I mean, we could just make a whole day of it. Set some cornhole boards up, invite some other people. Just grab a campsite for a day or something like that.
Hell yeah. And
When
we
it's
live close.
warmer. When it's warmer.
I keep teasing my wife that I'm going to get into golf. I keep looking. I keep watching golf. I've been playing golf video games a little bit more now than I used to.
Yeah.
It's just a big investment. And
Yeah.
I say that 'cause there's a
clubs
golf
up-
course right there next to
I've got
the
clubs right
place.
over here now.
And that's the thing. I know, like, I'll go rent a set a couple of times, but eventually you got to make that jump and get your own
Yeah.
set if you're going to try to do it on a regular basis.
I put together a set from some of my grandfather's old clubs and stuff like that. My grandfather and grandmother were big golfers. My grandfather even worked after retirement on a golf course as a greenskeeper. And in my childhood on Saturdays, we used to go to the golf course, and he'd let me drive the cart once I got of age and, well, of what he thought was of age.
His
So,
version of age.
yeah, I actually took golf lessons as a kid at points. So I know I feel bougie as shit.
See, when I was a kid, my uncles used to take me to a bar. And
Yeah.
give me like a handful of quarters and
Yep.
let me go either play pool by myself, skee ball by myself, or like the rollerball bowling video game.
Oh,
Like the
Golden
video
Tee.
game, but
Yeah.
but bowling. It wasn't golf.
And
It was bowling.
you were always worried about pinching your hand on that ball. That was my fear all the time, was that I was going to pinch my hand somehow.
I always was trying to figure out how to remove the ball from the game. Like I was like, does this come out? Like that was how my brain worked. I was like, how do I get this little ball out of this machine?
My dad was a musician, and I would see him in certain drinking venues and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I love those machines and those
That's
games.
why my
and
uncles were
whatnot.
there. They were in a like a bar cover band, and like they would go hang out at the bar usually before the show, or sometimes they would just go hang out at the bar during the day. My mom would go work, and I'd be with them. And like, yeah, we're gonna go down to Froggy's. There was a bar in Dayton called Dayton, Kentucky, called Froggy's Tavern. I don't think it was Froggy's. It was either Froggy's or Froggy's Tavern. But it was in Dayton, Kentucky, right down where like that Ameristop is.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Right at the end of Dayton.
That Ameristop has a great deli, by the way. I used to live down in Bellevue, and that Ameristop has a fantastic deli. Oh, wait, no. Past it is a fantastic deli. The Ameristop, sketchy.
The Ameristop, and you're talking about the one in Dayton, Kentucky, right?
Yeah, just past that Circle K.
Yeah. I used to run a skateboard shop that was back to back with that place. Weird story, because I wasn't even that much of a skateboarder. I wasn't big into skateboarding. I worked for this guy named Tom. Yeah, this guy named Tom.
Seems like a good relationship.
Right. He owned a guitar store. He owned Uncle Charlie's Music in Newport.
You sure his name wasn't Charlie?
No, Uncle Charlie was his cat. Yeah, so Uncle Charlie was his cat. And he owned a music store in Newport, Kentucky called Uncle Charlie's Music. I randomly got the job one day. I was working at a Journey Shoes.
Yeah.
I woke up that morning knowing, like, I hate my fucking job. Went in, I was like, but I'm going to go get some stuff done. So I was like, I'm going to go to work 2 hours early. Just get a bunch of shit done. I was the manager of a Journeys. On the way there, I stop in this guitar store. I end up just looking around and talk to him for like a fucking hour. Have a great conversation. Go to work. Go do my job. Get hassled by my bosses all day. I got district managers in my face, and selling shoes at Newfoundland Levy was fucking whatever. You know what I mean? So really realized by the end of the day, I hate that fucking job. I don't want to work there anymore. On the walk home, I stopped back because he's still there. He's an old guy who just owns a guitar store. He literally sits in there from like 7 a.m. to like 7 p.m. and just hangs out. Sometimes people come in and buy things and shit like that. Went back in, talked to him again. He's like, hey man, you ever need any help around here? It's like, actually, I need somebody to run this fucking place. So next thing you know, I'm working for a dude running a guitar store. Goes about 6 months, and he's like, well, what are we going to open? We got to open some kind of business. I got to do another store. I want to do something else. What do we do? So at this point, through the guitar store, we had a couple like workings where we had gone down to Dayton, Kentucky's YMCA, worked with the youth center. We had donated a little bit of money, like donated some musical equipment for their building, like a couple speakers and shit like that. And we got to know a bunch of the skateboarder kids that hung out in the area because of that, because that YMCA had a little skate park attached to it. So we got to know a bunch of those little skateboarders. The one thing I said was like, man, these kids always say they have no place to buy shit. Like there's no skate shop anywhere fucking nearby.
Yeah.
So he bought a building and we opened a fucking skate shop. And like 2 weeks later, he went. I think he already had a building, and he was like, I got to figure out some kind of business to put in here to start turning it around, because he would like rent the apartments out of the buildings. You know, he was one of those kind of businessmen who had his hands in like 20 different fucking buckets. So we open a skate shop, and I'm opening a skate shop not knowing a lot about running a skate shop or skate products. I'm talking to reps. I got people coming in. I'm meeting with them. We're kind of buying shit here and there to stock up for opening. I come in one day, and Tom says to me, I got the inventory thing figured out. I got that part taken care of. I was like, what do you mean? We got tons of shit. And I look, and there's like stacks of skateboards. There's 300 or 400 skateboard decks. There's like 30, 40, 50, 60 pairs of trucks. There's like dozens and dozens of wheels, but everything's just sitting out on the counter. Like everything's just there. I'm like, oh, what is all this stuff? I don't know the brands. I'm looking through it. I'm like, what are all these brands? What are these companies? What dude went to every like Kmart, Walmart, Walgreens around and bought any cheap $10-15 toy skateboard that he could find,
and took everything apart.
Back to the shop and took it all apart and was like, we'll just do this. This is what we're gonna sell. We're just gonna do all this stuff just to sell to get started. Okay, we didn't sell anything.
Didn't sell shit.
Didn't sell anything. We had some kids that would hang out and use it as like a space to kind of just bullshit and get away from their parents. They would buy the little bit of things. You got some money coming in?
Well, nope. During your story, though, I remembered to make my parlay of the week, so I made my parlay of the week. Sorry.
No, so just thinking about, like, we were talking about Dayton, Kentucky, and just, yeah, I ran a skateboard shop that I had no business running and no knowledge of running a skateboard shop. I'd skateboarded in my life, and I later in life after that, started skateboarding a lot more. But at the time, I didn't know what I was fucking doing.
I had a job that I shouldn't have ever been doing, that I really had no interest in, that I led to one of my most embarrassing moments ever. And it was kind of that same situation. I was not a bodybuilder. I was not, but I was a trainer, which at gyms was, you're a salesperson there to make people feel bad about themselves and sell them gym memberships. I was this little guy. So I'm walking out on the floor one day, and I remember there's an incline bench, and kind of laid there, and I see it's got a bar on it. It's got one weight on each side. Cool. Just kind of sat there, put it up once, came down on my chest, and I could not lift it back up. So now, now there's this skinny fucking employee sitting there, and one of the guys from the free weight area, I guess, noticed me, came over, and I see these two hands come over. He picks it up. There you go, little buddy. And put it down. I went, oh Jesus. He called me little buddy. I felt buddy. So bad. Yeah. It was bad.
That's
yeah.
Rough.
That was one of my worst.
You didn't
that
get
was
buddied. You got like it would have been enough just to be like, oh, I got you, buddy.
No,
little buddy.
He was a massive dude. I wasn't gonna say anything back. Thanks, sir.
I was gonna say, if you're getting called little buddy in a gym, it's probably by somebody who can call you little.
Oh yeah. No, he definitely stuck a needle or two in his ass.
So
no, I mean,
would you say that was your worst job?
It might have been one of my worst. I don't know. I mean, that was a bad week. This week currently for me was a good week. I got new internet. I don't know if I'm moving any faster, but I am now triple speed, buddy.
What does that mean?
I'm 3 times faster. My internet. What than it was.
Is that what they told you?
Oh, that's what the settings are. I watched it happen today. I deleted a 55 gigabyte game to test my download speeds and got it in 10 minutes.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, I was at a maximum of 300, which nobody should ever be. I've started streaming more games, doing the storytelling games for people and stuff like that. And like tonight, I think I'm going to start the Dark Pictures anthology horror game. But it's amazing that I was ever able to stream or even do this podcast with you or some of the stuff with when I see my speed numbers. But now I've more than tripled it, and it's very noticeable in all areas. Even just the quality of the streams that are saved that I'm looking through later to find funny moments. Like there was a great one the other day where I got the shit scared out of me by Michael Myers playing Dead by Daylight. But yeah, I have faster internet now. I won't bash any companies or anything like that, but fuck Spectrum. And so yeah.
But is that who you're still with?
No, not at all.
Oh, you switched companies.
Oh, I switched companies straight up.
So who
I am Fiber Optics now. Alta Fiber.
I was gonna say it used to be Cincinnati Bell. Now it's
Alta still Fiber. Is Cincinnati Bell, Alta Fiber, or something like that. But yeah, I have been very, very happy in the week that I've had them. So you shouldn't raise the rates for me the same week that I get a message about a deal coming up with Alta Fiber, because I will jump ship.
I feel like Alta Fiber probably knew that those were that has to be like corporate planning, you know what I mean? Like they happen to hit you up with a deal right around the same time that a hike increase. They probably know. There's probably some schematic.
My little apartment community and everything actually just had a thing where we were wired the entire facility for it. So they set up an event at the clubhouse where you could come over and meet reps that were offering a deal So their timing was great, and it was a very easy install. I am absolutely thrilled with it, and yeah, looking forward to. Hopefully, I'm faster now, and maybe it'll
Hopefully
give me
I'm
some advantages.
faster now.
Maybe it'll give me some advantages on people on some games and stuff like that when we're streaming some Sea of Thieves or whatever I decide to do later.
I've been really working on getting this set up to where we can start doing some gaming, and by working on the setup, I mean finding the time to make layouts and make sure everything works on my end. Because like I have to re-download Sea of Thieves, but I'm also honestly debating. I've got a capture card of just plugging my Xbox into this laptop.
That might be a way to do it.
I think I might get a better result rather than trying to play the game on the laptop, stream from the laptop, and all of those things.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Because I've got.
I need to come up with a new streaming name.
Really?
Yeah. Ooh. I don't know. I think I'm past my Fire Eater days, but I've always loved holding on to that handle because I've had it on everything. But right now it's currently the Fire Eater. But I would like. I think I want something different. I don't know what I should switch my handle to. On like a lot of my social media, it's my full name just for like photography and things like that. But I need a handle for things like streaming.
So
Twitch.
I'm gonna put. I got one for you. I got a pitch. You ready?
Don't be a dick.
I'm not gonna be a dick. I'm not gonna be a dick. You ready for my pitch?
Okay.
Fuckhole. I'm kidding. That's not the pitch. No. Hear me out.
I'm pouring my tequila.
Hear me out.
Okay.
That dude named Brendan. I'm that dude named Mike. You're that dude named Brendan. Hear me out. One day, we rebrand this.
That dude?
We're just dudes.
Those dudes?
We're dudes.
I'm sure that's taken.
There's not... Hold on.
It could be those dudes playing games. If it's available, I'll think about it. That might be possible.
Podcast. Is there a dude? There's Dudesy.
Two dudes in hats.
There is... We both wear hats.
Two dudes in hats.
That might have to be them.
Two dudes in hats with tequila and worm salt.
So wait, you put the worm salt on the fruit, and so now you're gonna. So
just take a little bite afterwards.
I was gonna say fruit before or after.
After.
All right. Well, here we go. Cheers.
Tasty. That's what I love about so good. That's what I love about Milagro. Nice peppery finish.
So,
do you still have my bottle there? Is it safe?
I do. We have our own bottles of Milagro, sir. You don't have to worry about your bottle.
Well, I'm just worried about once yours are gone that it's easy not to have to make a trip.
It's actually a funny running story, and I don't want to blow up her spot.
Uh-oh.
But my wife has been lucky enough that between like holidays and birthdays and parties, she's consistently always had a bottle of her own Milagro because of those events. She always seems to have one around.
She's got a back stock somewhere with extra bottles and stuff. Oh, yeah, nice.
Absolutely. So let's counteract some of this stuff that we're doing to ourselves today. I've
been counteracting things all week. I've been on anti-inflammatories. I've been trying to counteract tennis elbow, sir.
You know, it's the weather's getting colder. It's easier to get sicker.
Yep.
And I was just hungover this morning. So I figured this might be a good moment to try to get new life, to get a new life. To get liquid life. I have something I wanted to try. This
BLK.
is BLK Liquid Life. Delicious, still alkaline, more than water. So it's a water with fulvic. What the fuck is fulvic?
If you don't know what it is, you shouldn't be drinking it.
Fulvic. It has vulvic, alkaline, pH.
Not vulvic. You just said vulvic, and vulvic sounded like a disease of the vulva.
No, not vulvic. It's vulvic. It's got vulvic in it. Alkaline pH.
I get vulvic notes from this water that I'm drinking.
77 plus trace minerals, electrolytes, and antioxidants. So, let's see what it says in the
Fulvic acid is a group of chemicals formed when plants and animals break down.
What? When plants and animals break down?
Yes. Fulvic acid might block reactions in the body that cause allergy symptoms. It might also interrupt steps involved in the worsening of brain disorders such as Alzheimer's disease. Additionally, fulvic acid might reduce swelling and prevent or slow the growth of cancer. Well, shit, get some fulvic in my body.
It says it's a fulvic fusion. That's what it claims to be.
Fulvic fusion.
All right, so this is BLK's Liquid Life. It says daily detox, healthy and delicious, boost gut health. So the
Boost
little,
your gut health.
The little slogan line or slogan blurb on the back. BLK is life in a bottle. It's a healthy and delicious functional water with electrolytes, antioxidants, and fulvic minerals to supercharge your health and life. Yeah, it says it reduces inflammation and boosts recovery, boosts gut and immune health, superior electrolytes and hydration, anti-aging and cell protection. Anti-aging and cell protection? Antioxidants, detoxifying, keto-friendly, all-natural, stimulate metabolism and energy. Let's see what this weird, dirty water tastes like.
I mean, it's probably not going to be as bad as ranch soda.
No, it can't be anywhere as bad as ranch soda.
It's a good pouring noise. Holy shit, it is black. Now I know where the name comes from. Holy crap. Hold that up to the camera again.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there's nothing you can see through there. Is that now? That's not carbonated, right?
No, it says still.
So this is just like a black water, like oil.
Ooh, what is that?
Oh, Jesus. This is for your gut health. It's going to come out looking the same color. You seem confused.
Did you ever eat chalk as a kid? Or taste chalk? like when you were a kid in school, there was chalk, there was a chalkboard. You never accidentally tasted the chalk. Or ate chalk. I might eat
No, that's what I was trying to get to, like the eating chalk. Not accidentally tasted. You said it more like you went...
I might ate some chalk as a kid. Did you ever eat a crayon?
Why?
You want to know what it tastes like? You ever ate a crayon as a kid? You ever ate half a crayon?
No, I didn't eat half a crayon. If I ate any crayon, it was a shaving. You know that you don't like crayon before you get to a half a crayon. Do different
How did you
colors
No,
taste like different
I'm not saying
things?
I went halfway through the crayon. Crack. Just try it. Crack.
The closest I had to a crayon were those awesome, like, you remember those bottles that were like the liquid wax bottles? They were a wax bottle like candy that had different color liquid in them, and you'd bite the top off. And
oh yeah, they look like soda bottles.
Yeah,
I think they were just called wax bottles. I think when you would go buy them at the store, I think they were just called wax bottles.
Those feel like depression candy.
This tastes like pennies.
Like, it doesn't taste like pennies.
No, this tastes like pennies.
Oh, that tastes like pennies?
Yeah,
maybe it's the can.
I think it's I think because it's minerals.
The minerals. It's the fulvic acid of the broken down animals and plants.
I think that's what fulvic tastes like.
Quit saying vulvic.
I think fulvic just tastes like
it
pennies.
Sounds gross. I don't want to hear you talk about the vulvic things. She was very vulvic. What does that even mean?
I expect this to be like gnarlier than it is. It's not.
No, it looks gnarly.
It's not weird tasting, or it's not gnarly. It's just weird tasting. Like it's not even a bad weird taste.
Thank God it's not thick. That'd be weird. Like thick black sludge.
Have you seen lately? People are doing these like comedy bits where they're mixing things with Thicket. I didn't know Thicket is apparently a chemical that you mix into liquids to thicken them. Apparently, it's for like medical reasons. For I guess people that need to or can't have full liquids, they need to have a thicker solution. They put thick.
I wonder if it's like slush powder.
Slush powder? What's slush powder?
Back in the day when I was a magician, some of the things you could order and some of the things we would play with to screw with unsuspecting lay people would be slush powder. You put a little bit of the... Now it sounds like you're drugging someone. But we'd put a little bit of this dust in the bottom of their glass, or if they've already have a glass, we'd throw some of this powder in it real quick, and it would make it look like it froze over instantly. You could turn the cup upside down, and the drink is pretty much just slushy goo.
What was the powder?
It's solid. It's a powder that basically just absorbs all the water and turns it into a slushy, spongy, Look up slush powder. I'm sure you can find it.
Is it like edible? Like, was it safe?
No, I'm sure it's not edible. No, God, no. No, it's like, ha, 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 I poisoned your drink.
Slush powder.
But it might still come up. I don't know. When I was a kid.
Magic trick.
There you go.
Rock Ridge magic slush powder. Gelling. Sodium polyacrylate.
I just got a message that what you're talking about is like a gel or a powder. That it's like a gel
that molecules.
It changes the consistency for people who have swallowing issues. Is that what you're talking about?
That's what it is. Thicket. It's used for medical things.
Gotcha.
So slush powder is a super absorbent hydrophilic homopolymer or copolymer that could absorb and retain extremely large amounts. Okay, but I want to know, is it safe to digest?
No. It specifically told us not to drink it or eat it on stage or let people eat it or drink it. You don't want to give that to people. It's not good. It's going to dry up your belly. Make it goo.
To drink. Warning. Whoa.
Watching Mike learn is amazing.
Whoa. Google popped a big ass warning on there. Warning: slush powder is not a food grade product and should not be ingested.
Told you. We were basically poisoning our people and spectators I used on stage. I have so many. We could have a whole podcast about crazy magic stories and what magicians used to do to people and ways that we would screw with lay people and stuff like that.
I could probably do a very similar line of thought with being in a band. And some fucked up things dealing with like everyday people or like promoters.
That'll be a future podcast, our performing lives and crazy performing stories. We'll have to get a couple of them together, and that could be a fun episode.
You ever had a band drive 7 hours to come play a show that you put together and then you couldn't pay them?
Oh, did you get beat up?
No, you eventually figure out. You eventually pull money from somewhere. I've had to borrow money to pay a band before and pay somebody.
You had to. Yeah, I'm sure you. How'd you? Okay. Oh, yeah. Interesting. How have your bets been doing lately?
Terrible.
I haven't been the best either. Things did not go as expected. I won't lie. I do not like the Browns. Never been a Browns fan. Thought they would go far. They fucked up. Thought Dallas. I made apparently the mistake that every human being who lives in Dallas made and said, this might be their year. Because it wasn't at all.
And then they kept Mike McCarthy on top of that.
He's got one more year left, and Dak has one more year left. Do you think? So? Do you think next year could be their year?
No.
No.
I saw a great explanation of it by Stephen A. Smith. Just be patient. They'll always let you down.
Interesting.
Just be patient. They'll always let you down.
It's kind of the truth, I would say.
So, what was your parlay last week?
I don't even wait.
I've got mine.
It was an NBA parlay, and it lost very early on, if I'm not mistaken. This week, I'm keeping it simple. I'm sticking to the NFL playoff games, and what I actually did is instead of a 3-pick parlay, I picked something for each of the 4 games.
Okay.
And I've got it kind of I kind of did it different per game. I'm going to have fun with this one, I think. But are we ready for that? Do you want to hear my parlay this week? Okay.
What I did is I also did a 4-leg parlay for each of the 4 playoff games this week. So as you go game by game, I'll let you know what team I picked. Because mine were all just money line.
Money line? Okay, well, let's start with the Texans and Ravens. What was your bet on the Texans-Ravens?
Texans-Ravens, I've got the Houston Texans.
I've got in that game over 43.5 points.
Over 43.5 points.
I don't feel confident on either of the teams, even on spread. I'm going over 43.5 points. I'm taking that on that one. Okay, Green Bay Packers, San Francisco 49ers. What's your pick?
San Francisco 49ers. I'm saying this now. They're going to the Super Bowl. The Niners. I think they win it.
I've got Green Bay to cover the spread. The spread is 9.5. I think Green Bay is within 9.5. I think the 49ers will win, but I think Green Bay is within 9.5.
I think the Niners will only beat them by one touch and a pat. So I think.
So I've got the Packers covering the spread in that game. Lions, Buccaneers. I went money line Lions. This might be my Super Bowl pick. I don't know, because there's something about the Lions I kind of like. They might be the team of destiny. They look really. I don't know. I don't know.
So,
who did you take? Did you take Lions or Bucks?
I took Lions. I believe
Okay.
in the story as well. I want the Lions to do well. I think, is it Stan Lambert, right? That's the coach, Coach Dan Lambert? Is that
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Dan Lambert is the
No.
guy from Top Team, American Top Team, who
Dan Lambert?
collects the belts.
You're right. Who's the coach of the Lions?
I don't know.
Because he was a Lion.
Or care. Big motherfucker.
Either way, his story has been fucking great. Jared Goff has been
Someone Google that for me and send it
showing
to
the
me so I know.
fuck off. And
Yeah.
I would love for the Lions to go as far as they could.
I'm completely for it too. I'm good with that too.
Yeah.
And then the last game, Chiefs and Bills. What's your pick?
So I let my wife pick all of these teams as well. So that's the thing I need to say. And this was the biggest debate, was
Yep.
Chiefs Bills. So with Chiefs Bills, we went Bills. And I have a couple thoughts on that game.
I'm with you.
With
I got the
Jason
Bills
Kelce-
covering the spread, and the spread is -2.5. I think the Bills beat the Chiefs.
I think with Jason
well.
Kelce retiring, it feels like we're gearing up for the Chiefs to not go all the way and Travis to retire too. However, to the counterpoint of that,
He'll make a great roadie for Swift.
Josh Allen deserves more fucking credit. Everyone's
yeah.
talking about Lamar. People need to talk more about Josh fucking Allen. Like, and this is coming from
had a dog
a
shit year
Joe
for
Burrow
interceptions.
lover.
Yeah,
Everyone
no.
did. Everyone.
Yeah, no,
People
I'm with
talking
you.
shit about Dak Prescott. Look at how many fucking Dak Prescott interceptions happened in the last part of the last few games of the season.
Dan Campbell.
Dan Campbell. That's who it is. I knew it was Dan. So Dan Campbell.
You got it.
So I would love to see the Bills beat the Chiefs and Josh Allen to get that recognition. Also, as much as I like Travis Kelce, more and more I can't stand Patrick fucking Mahomes.
More and more. I
every
haven't
day.
been able to stand him for a while, bud.
I was able to tolerate him during football season. He was my quarterback in fantasy, so that kind of helped.
That kind of helps, I guess.
But
yeah, you got to like him in that
The
situation.
last half of the season, he really just showed his bitch side.
I'm trying to figure out why Bet365 won't confirm my location, but we'll figure it out. And yes, I am sick of Mahomes. But man, did you see that picture? Like, as someone who takes pictures and looks for, and the thing I love about pictures is capturing specific moments that'll never happen again. And that picture that photographer got of the moment the helmet broke and cracked and the pieces flying out, I sat there and went, I didn't give a shit about the cold. I didn't give a shit about Mahomes. I didn't give a shit about the helmet. I went, that photographer looked at that picture somewhere and went, fuck yes. Like that is a money shot.
It's the
so good.
It's the thing where like you see on the internet where it says dudes will see this and just say hell yeah. Photographers will see this and
just say hell yeah. 100%. That was such a money shot to get the moment the piece is flying out of the helmet on impact.
And
it was
the
great.
things that had to align for that moment to happen when you think about that, like not only the perfect shot, but I watched a report where those helmets, his helmet specifically, is the most flexible helmet for impact. It has the most like bounce back and rubberiness when it comes to taking a hit like that. But it was the
From
fact
Britney.
it was so Oh man.
Sorry.
No, that's fucking great. But it was so cold. It was the temperature and the fact that
taking all my attention.
have you seen how they've been buddies in the audience though, or up in the stands? That's funny.
Oh, Jesus.
But apparently it was
It's
the temperature that made it so fragile that it broke the way it did. And like you talking about with the photographer, like all the things that had to line up.
Oh, even his positioning on the. I mean, just to get that moment in time. I mean, the other thing that's kind of funny is, I mean, from Patrick Mahomes' interview, I don't really care for the guy too much, but it was interesting to hear his interview. He was mad that his helmet broke because that was the helmet they were keeping warm on the sidelines
Mhm.
for him. The backup helmet was ice fucking cold, so he had to go out there in a cold helmet from that point on, and that was his biggest issue.
Well, it was also hard. Apparently, it was hard to get on his head because I guess that
Yeah.
foam on the inside had frozen
It was,
too.
yeah. So that's interesting.
So,
but-
better moment from that game was the better moment from that game Patrick Mahomes' helmet or Andy Reid's mustache?
Andy Reid's mustache looked like Wilford Brimley
Oh my
and an
God.
Arctic sea lion had a baby. And like you see the sea lion's whiskers, that thing was amazing.
I didn't know you could put thicket in snot.
Aw.
That's a callback, ladies and gentlemen. That
That
is
is
a
a
callback,
callback.
people of
Bravo.
the internet. So
Bravo.
it was one of those moments where we all saw it, we all went, ew. But then we all took a picture, screenshotted it off the internet to send around to each other and go, oh my
You
God,
sent it.
did you
to
see
me. That
this?
was what you sent me. I mean, that was one of the last pictures I got for you, and it makes me sad that that's what I still have to look at when I say this. There we go. This is a text message from Mike.
Oh,
Andy Reid's
look at
mustache.
that! Look at that glorious walrus band encased in frost and ice. That is
I have
glorious.
diabetes.
He has a cold now. So, what would you say? And this is also going to be a more what was crazier. There's his mustache, or did you see what Kanye did to his teeth?
No, you told me about it.
So look up Kanye's teeth right now on your phone.
Oh,
Google
I really
Kanye's
don't
teeth.
want. Why don't you describe it to people what happened
replaced-
if they haven't heard it?
Kanye replaced his teeth with titanium dentures. And these
He removed and replaced with
These-
$850,000
but they're not
titanium dentures.
individual teeth. They're solid, just titanium bars. There's no like line. It's the most unsettling thing you could see. It looks like a mouth guard.
The rapper 46 proudly flashed his pointy new smile in an Instagram post in which he likened himself to the iconic James Bond villain Jaws.
So he knew it looked like that.
Oh yeah, well of course he knows what it looks like. I mean, look at this stupid shit. He even made himself look like a goddamn vampire. Come on
It
now.
looks like a gum wrapper. It looks like he took a foil gum wrapper and just pressed it on his teeth. and
folded
had
it around.
sitting
Oh
there.
yeah.
I don't want to get into a whole Kanye conversation, but like
Thank God, because I don't either.
at a certain point, doesn't a dentist go, no, those are ugly. Those look terrible.
Money, money, money.
Yeah, I guess.
Plus, I mean, honestly, if Kanye came to me and said, "Will you remove my teeth?" I would happily be like, "Oh, I've got a little ball peen hammer over here right now. If you just want to sit right there and sing one of your and never mind.
So you're not a Kanye fan?
Not the biggest.
I
That
would,
song "Lights" is pretty good.
old Kanye is good. I think up
Yeah.
until
Something happened.
the album with Love Lockdown, 808s and Heartbreak. That album's fantastic.
I think he got some. I think he got some of that Kardashian crazy, and shit went south from.
And I saw Kanye and Jay-Z as Watch the Throne about 12, 15 years ago. Amazing concert.
Look at this, and the award for shit that I didn't expect to talk about tonight. Brendan, Kanye, and Jay-Z, fantastic.
There you go. All right.
Yeah, who puts? I mean, yeah, I don't even know. I mean, at that point,
Just put him in that jacket with the really long sleeves.
I've got one in my closet. I still have one. It hangs there.
There should be more of those in the world.
No. Everybody should have a straight jacket. They're
Absolutely.
fun. I mean,
There's no backing out of that one. So this was fun. No?
I also have a high school Letterman jacket. That's a nice jacket. I've got a pea coat. That's a good jacket. I've got a Liverpool jacket. That's a good jacket. Let's not focus on the straight jacket. There's no reason to have a straight jacket. I mean, it's kind of stained. That might be from the blood.
People of the
Never
internet,
mind.
this has been Thirsty Thursday.
I'll
I'm
wear my straight jacket next week. That'll be great. I'm Brendan. I'll be in a straight jacket next week for you.
He's got a straight jacket.
I got a straight jacket. Maybe I'll start doing magic. I'm going to go stream. I don't know what I'm going to stream. I'm going to stream something. I guess you don't want to get on and challenge me, but I don't know what it's going to be. But we're about to hit Twitch for some streaming for the rest of the night, and I think that's what I'm going to do. What are you going to do this evening? Do you guys have do you and the wife have a after podcast routine? Is there a show you watch on Thursdays?
She actually doesn't watch this show. I don't think she's watched one episode. She watches her shows. I don't want to say her shows. She watches shows usually while we're doing this. By the time I go in there, she'll probably be finishing another episode or two. I'll probably pick up the PlayStation Portal. I re-downloaded Gotham Knights, so I'm looking to finish
I
that
was
game
just
off.
on Gotham Knights. I just went and saved the mayor and got her signature on an arrest warrant, and we're going from there.
Nice.
But
So,
I
yeah.
will look into. Maybe I'll check my Twitch and see if that dude named Brendan is available.
There you go.
And maybe it's available on X, and maybe it's available on the places where we broadcast about this, and we will have this.
It would be on brand. That's branding. That's
branding.
branding.
Advertising.
See you guys.
Warm salt.